And we can get started. First up is Dan Connolly.
John, can you just kind of give us a sense of what it was like out there today? I know there's a lot of emotions going on for you. Just kind of give us a feel there.
Yeah, it was pretty special. Just amazing to have my family there, and like I said, Fenway Park, holds a special place in my heart. And, it was a really cool experience, something that I'll have to tell my kids forever.
Next is John Mioli.
John, what made today successful on the mound?
I had pretty good fastball changeup command. I was getting ahead with the curveball and then kind of putting some guys away with the fastball changeup. I thought the command was pretty good, and I was just loose, fluid, just kind of let the game come to me today.
Rich Dubroff.
Hey, John, what did you think of the play of Rio Ruiz behind you at second base there?
Yeah, how about that? That was unbelievable. I mean, playing second base, I don't know how many games he's ever played there, but it can't be many. And just coming in, I mean, those are two of the toughest catches you're going to see made in a season. I mean, those are not easy. And then the diving play to go along with it. It was awesome from him today. Just a great opening game.
Joe Trezza.
John, do you think that was the best start of your career?
Probably, yeah, probably to this point. Maybe not the most dominating, but as far as just getting through the efficiency and everything, yeah, I think that might be one of the best starts I've had.
Stan Charles.
John, first of all, congratulations. The last two questions just stole my two questions, but I'll just ask you, what could top this now after an outing like today?
A full season of it, maybe being consistent and just going out there every fifth day and doing what I did and just staying loose, staying fluid through the zone, just staying with it. We got a long season left. It's game number 1 of 162, so got to keep going with it.
John Mioli.
John, I'm sure you're not focusing on it in the moment. The velocities we saw were down from what you were doing in spring training and last year. What does it say that you're able to have a start like this under those circumstances today?
Yeah, I don't know what my velocity was. I felt good. I just, it was cold. It was cold out there today. But yeah, I don't really care too much about the velocity. Kind of what happened last year, I kind of, lessened up on the velo and was more about command. And I think I'm a better pitcher that way and just need the velo when it comes.
Joe Trezza.
John, what was it like to have Trey back out there, but not during a spring game, for a real game?
It was cool. It was really special. He's a great player, great teammate. And just to, just see him back out there after everything he's been through, it's incredible. And he's going to have a great season. I can't wait.
Final question for John is from Dan Connolly.
John, that's Ryan Mountcastle's very first opening day, very first time, to make an opening day roster. To come up big like that, what does that say about this kid?
He's a special talent, and he's got a great mentality for this game. I don't think any moment's too big for him. I think he stays within himself really, really well. You're going to be seeing this kid for a long time. He's a great player, and yeah, the Orioles are lucky to have him.
All right. Reminder to media to put your name in the chat if you have a question. And first up is Rakabaka.
Hey, Trey, what's it mean to you when you've got players from the other team giving you hugs when you come to the plate, when they get to first base, and kind of celebrating your return?
It means everything in the world to me. We all play against each other 19 times a year in this division, but we all have a very high respect for each other. And, we wish the best for everybody playing the game. And it just meant a lot, to have Vasquez hug me when I went up to bat, and everybody, Bogarts, Devers. I played against these guys for years and years, and you get to know them through that. And it was really classy and really, really meant a lot to me.
Next is Dan Connolly.
Trey, can you just sum up, that first at bat just overall and how good it must have felt to get a single there eventually?
Yeah, it was surreal, but once the game started, it felt a lot like my major league debut, actually, as far as the way that the day went. There's a lot of nerves, a lot of emotions that go along with the day, and then once the game starts, it all kind of went away. I think in years past, the way I started the game, grinding into 2 double plays, I might have let that kind of spiral out of control, but I did a really good job today, and I told myself after going through this that just wash whatever happened the at bat before, good or bad. And I feel like I showed that today, and that's something that I want to carry forward with me.
Rich Dubroff.
Hey, Trey, did you hear anything from the fans, any words of encouragement during the game?
I did. There are several fans that when I was on deck before the game that all welcomed me back. There's a guy that said that his sister was battling colon cancer right now, and it meant a lot for me to be back playing for them, and interactions like that were so cool, and everybody here at Fenway was amazing today.
Joe Trezza.
Trey, when you were envisioning your comeback and your return to the field, did you think it was going to be so cold when you got back onto the field? And what was there for you today, family-wise?
Yeah, the temperature wasn't something that ran through my head too much, but if you told me we were opening April 2nd in Boston, I knew it would be pretty cold. I played a lot of cool games here in April, so not ideal. Even though I went to Notre Dame, I still despise the cold. I do not like playing in the cold at all. I started the game without an undershirt on, and I quickly had to run in and put my thick undershirt on because I just couldn't take it. It was cold, but besides that, everything was great today. And most importantly, winning the game was, just the icing on the cake. Playing behind Means today was incredible. I think he retired 18 straight guys I saw. So, my word, and especially everything that he's been through this past year as well. It was a really special day for both of us to be out there together. And, I'm really proud of the way he performed today.
And who was here for you family-wise?
My sisters were here, my agent was here, and Sarah was here. And that, like, my whole, everybody's going to be there next week in Baltimore. Katie and Meredith, my 2 sisters, and then Sarah and my agent, Mark Rogers, were here.
Next is John Mioli.
Trey, you had a pretty good look at it. For Rio to play the way he did in his first start at second base in a regular season game, what did you see out there?
It didn't surprise me. He played there, obviously, at the end of spring training for a couple of games, and he looked incredible. He looked like a second baseman to me. And those plays are obviously not easy. All 3 of the, web gem plays he made, and especially the diving one, I thought that was in the hole for sure. And he just, it was incredible. So he played so well out there, and it was fun to be, right next to him on the field. It's the first time that that's ever happened.
Jerry Coleman.
Trey, you mentioned John Means and playing behind him. You got a chance to do that during spring training. Was there something noticeable different that you saw today from him? Because it was one of the best starts I think we've seen from an Orioles starter on an opener.
I'm always impressed every time I see him pitch, but I think his changeup today, the way he was locating it, and the swings and misses he got on that pitch, it was incredible. And then obviously, if his changeup is working that effectively, they're going to have trouble with the fastball when he throws that as well. So it was the mix of pitches and his location. It was perfect.
Next is Stan Charles.
Trey, congratulations on getting back out on the field. Really very special for Baltimore fans today. I'm wondering if the way that John Means pitched and the type of game it was, such a close battle, pitching battle, kind of helped you remain focused on what was the task at hand today.
Yeah, I think we all do a good job of staying focused no matter what. Whether we're up by a lot, down a lot, or it's a close game, everybody wants to go out there, do well, put their best foot forward. So you do, especially defensively in a game like that, your focus is ticked up a notch even more. So you're locked in the whole game in a situation like that.
Dan Connolly.
Trey, obviously opening day is always special, but when you put on the fact that you're coming back from what you have, you had mentioned John's situation, there's fans in the stands, you finally have a spring opening day. How much more special was this? And obviously the Orioles win too. How much more special was this day than some opening days in the past for you?
Oh, this is the most special one, no doubt about it. Even I'd say more so than my major league debut. You know, when you hear you're diagnosed with cancer, like I've told you guys, baseball was the last thing on my mind. And quite frankly, you know, before I knew anything about the cancer, whenever the doctor told me, I thought I was never going to play baseball again. So I made sure to soak it all in, no matter what happened today, and just appreciate doing this for a living. You know, I'm not going to ever take that for granted. And you know, the fact that I'm a year removed from the diagnosis, going through 6 months of chemotherapy, and, you know, a lot of things ran through my mind today, you know, days where I couldn't get out of bed, days where I was hunched over the toilet, sick. It was all worth it to be back here, be out there with the guys. It's something that I can't describe.
All right, I think that is it for questions for you, Trey. Thanks so much.
I got a little something real from the top. I don't know.
Good to go?
Good to go.
Awesome. We can get started with Rakabaka.
Brandon, do you have a set like pitch count range for Means early on, and then as he's cruising along, you're willing to adjust it?
Yeah, I mean, we were somewhere in the 90-95 range ideally, but with very little traffic, very little stress with the innings. You know, he had not been up 7 times all spring. His last outing was cut a little bit short. So I thought he just did an amazing job. Just a clinic pitching wise. The way he changed speeds, gave up the leadoff single, and then just cruised from there. That's the best I've seen him pitch, from having command of multiple pitches and the way he worked ahead in the count.
Next is Rich Dubroff.
Hey, Brandon, what were you when you were watching Trey? Were you sensing how much the day meant to him?
He told me in the dugout, yeah, that he felt like it was his debut. And when he hit that double, I said, hey, he finally got a ground ball past somebody, just trying to keep it light for him, because I saw how much pressure he was putting on himself and how hard he was trying. And when he grounded into a couple double plays, how mad he was. But yeah, we had a lot of cool things today. Cesar Valdez, guy's been in the big leagues up and down since 2010. This was his first time ever on an opening day, to break with a club. I think he's been in professional baseball since 2005, and 16, 17 years later, guy makes an opening day roster and gets the save. So Mancini, fantastic. I'm sure he was nervous and had a ton of butterflies, and Cesar Valdez with getting the save. It's really cool.
Dan Connolly.
Yeah, Brandon, just if you can kind of expound on that, on just the overall day. I mean, you talked about Mancini, you know what this meant to Means as well. You know, Rio getting a chance to play second base, Mountcastle's first opening day. I mean, when you look at all of that, I mean, was this, you know, we kind of asked you beforehand, before the game, but how special was this day for you? And
it was, you know, opening day is always a little bit heavy. There's a lot more that goes into the first game of the year, just from a pregame standpoint. You have you're nervous, you have butterflies. It's just a different, I know it's only one of 162, but it's definitely a different feeling. It's almost a playoff style feeling before the game, where you're nervous and you're anxious and you want to see what your team's going to look like. But then you add in all the other things that we had, with a guy coming back from cancer, you know, John Means not being able to make an opening day start last year, going through what he went through last year, pitching the way he did. Like I said, Valdez, we got a guy that hadn't played second base in his career, playing second base and making multiple plus plays defensively. I just thought we played good baseball.
Next is Joe Trezza.
Brandon, did Rio make it easier for you today to slot his name in at second base tomorrow or the next day? And also, how big was it for Mountcastle to have a moment like that on opening day, in his first opening day?
Yeah, I thought he hit that ball out. But yeah, I mean, to to contribute the way he did and put the really nice swing on to give us the lead and kind of break the ice for us a little bit. Yeah, opening day is special for everyone. When it's your first one, it's something you'll remember for the rest of your life. And when you produce the way he did, it's an incredible moment for him personally, and it was huge for us. So, yeah, Rio played outstanding at second base. That was, when we talked about Rio at second a week ago, I've always loved Rio's feet, his hands. He plays the game defensively. He can slow the game down. I knew he was a quarterback in high school. Like, there's all sorts of athleticism for me that he had, things that he has that I just want him to catch the ball and be able to make the routine play balls he can get to, and he did all those things and a little bit more today.
Next is John Mioli.
Brandon, you were so happy with what John Means did towards the end of last season. Do you see how he pitched today as a continuation of that?
Absolutely. When you look at the radar gun, it looked like he was throttling down a little bit and pitching. And for me, that's what he did the last 4 starts last year was locating a really good fastball already, but being able to add and subtract with his changeup and not overthrow it and not make it flat, as well as continuing to get confidence in his breaking ball. His stuff plays. It's about pitching ahead in the count. I love the way John Means throws in, to be able to get them off of the changeup and off of the fastball down and away, where they can't look in one spot, where they can't look up, down, but there's multiple weapons that he can go to, and that's what he's done now. That's what he did today, and that's what he did at the last few starts last year.
Next is Jerry Coleman.
Brandon, I know you've been asked a lot about fans in the stands throughout spring training. Was today a little bit different because it was a big league park? It was Fenway. It was opening day. And did you notice any Orioles fans or any screams when your team did something right? Because we certainly heard the booing.
I heard some. Yeah, there were some Orioles fans scattered in the stands. I heard it more when after the handshakes at the end of the game, when we were walking back to the dugout. You could see some Orioles fans up there excited. But yeah, there's way more Boston fans here, obviously. But when you win and you're coming out back to the dugout after shaking hands in the line, usually you can hear the Orioles fans, and it was definitely a nice feeling to have people in the seats, energy in the ballpark, and home or road. It's just so much different when there's people here, and it was a nice change from last year.
Stan Charles.
Skipper, congratulations on win number 1 for the season. All the storylines everybody's been asking you about were very predictable before the game, except for one, and that's the one that you had something to do with, playing Rio Ruiz at second base. I heard you just talk about it, but can you talk a little bit about how you came up with the idea? Was it something you and Mike discussed when you picked up Miguel? How did that happen?
Yeah. I thought about it about a week ago or so, a week and a half ago, and brought Rio into my office and asked him what he thought, and his reaction to my question. I felt like from his reaction, I felt like, this is something I'm going to try, just because he was so excited to do it. He's always asked me to play short and things like that. So everybody thinks they can play shortstop that's played in infield or played shortstop in high school. So he's always mentioned those things to me. And when I asked him if he would, how he felt about it, and he was super excited to get out in the field the next day and go to work with Manzo on it. It put my mind at ease. However, he's only played, this is his 3rd game playing second base. I'm not going to he played well today. I don't want to add more than that. He played very, very well today. He picked us up big time, and I'm really happy for him.
Congrats on doing something, thinking outside the box.
Oh, thanks, Dan.
Final question is from Todd Karpovich.
Hey, Brandon. Just going back to Mountcastle, can you just talk a little bit about his poise and patience at the plate and how far he's come, how much work he did in the minors and to be where he is now, and what he can mean to the team this season?
Yeah, well, he's a young kid that's played a month in the big leagues, and he's hitting fourth in the American League East. And because he's got poise, because he's got confidence, this guy's going to be a really good hitter in this league. And he is a threat when he swings the bat. And when he has a middle of the field approach and understands how to stay on a baseball, which he does the majority of the time, he's very, very dangerous. Because he's athletic, he's got great hands, he's got huge power, and he's going to have to make adjustments this year, though. It's not going to be. I've seen a lot of good young players come into the league and have a first couple, 2 good months, and then it's tough for a while. That's absolutely normal. So I don't want to put too much pressure on him. I think that he's going to go have ups and downs this year, like most good young players do. But I really believe in the ability, and I believe in the upside, and I think he's got a chance to be a good player in this league for a long time.
All right, that is it for questions. Thank you, Brandon. All right, first up is Kevin Richardson. I think you're on mute, Kevin.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Excellent. Ryan, right on the doorstep of opening day here, and you're hearing your name being thrown about maybe as Rookie of the Year. What are your thoughts about that?
I just got to go out there and play my game, and if I do that, I think I have a pretty good shot at getting it. But I'm not really gonna press to try to win any awards or anything like that.
Next is Joe Trezza.
Ryan, how exciting is it for you to make your first opening day roster? And do you have any family in town to come see the game? How are you going to celebrate?
Yeah, I got some family in town, and they're not really allowing us to do much outside of the field. So I'm just gonna say hey to them at the game today, and that's about it. Maybe take some pictures.
Who's here?
You what?
Who is here from your family?
I got my little brother, my stepdad, and my girlfriend, her family.
Next is Rich Dubroff.
Hey, Ryan, as someone who's a lifelong Floridian and just came out of 6 weeks in training in Florida, is this weather a shock to your body?
Yeah, I haven't played in weather like this much in my career, but I got to get used to it at some point, I guess.
Next is John Mioli.
Ryan, what makes a good season for you? What's the thing you're most proud for to get ready for this?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that. It was going in and out.
What types of preparation do you feel like has made you're prepared for the season?
I think, just this off season training really well, and then spring training too, getting a bunch of extra reps in before the season. I feel pretty good going into this year, and I'm excited to see how the season goes.
Next is Dan Connolly.
Obviously, Ryan, besides World Series or opening day, your very first debut, where do you think this will rank as far as anticipatory moments you've anticipated in your career so far, especially given the fact that fans are there and there's a lot of other things around the team, Trey and all that stuff? I mean, is this pretty high up as far as moments that you've kind of anticipated in your career?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've gone to big league spring training 4 or 5 times, and I've gotten sent down every time. And the first time I get to break with the club, it's definitely a surreal moment, and something I'll cherish for sure.
Next is Steve Maleski.
Ryan, any player who had a good first year can probably expect in their second year that the pitchers will try new things and, look at different ways to get them out. Are you anticipating that? What are you expecting?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to do their scouting reports and all that stuff, and they're going to try to do whatever they can to get me out. And it's up to me whether I want to adjust or not. And, that's a part of the game.
Joe Trezza.
Ryan, I'm not sure if you played left field in Boston last year. I should probably know that coming into this question, but even if you did once or twice, what's it like going up against the Green Monster, whether it's the first time or the second or third time?
Yeah, I mean, I played there a little bit last year, a couple games, and I mean, anything over your head's off the monster. You got to play it off the wall, and then it almost feels like you're in the shortstop's back pocket playing out there just because it's so shallow too. And it's I wouldn't say it's too difficult, but it's definitely different.
All right, I think that is it for questions. Thanks so much, Ryan.
Yeah, no problem.
Media will be back with Hyde at 11:45.